You know, in the world of data management, you get slow, steady improvements. And then you get genuine moonshots. We're talking about ideas so big they try to change the entire game. And today, we're digging into one of Oracle's biggest bets ever, the autonomous database, a piece of tech that promised to completely rewrite the rules. So to get why this was such a huge deal, you have to start with this one simple question. What if a database, this incredibly complex thing that's literally at the heart of almost every modern business, could just take care of itself? What if you didn't need a human watching over its shoulder 24/7? To really appreciate the answer, we gotta rewind and remember how things used to be. For decades, the entire world of databases was all about manual labor. I want you to picture this. You've got these highly skilled people, database administrators, or DBAs, and they're spending their entire day basically fighting fires. They are constantly tweaking performance, applying security patches, which almost always meant that dreaded system downtime, and just wrestling with all this complexity to keep things from falling over. It was expensive, it was risky, and it was a constant battle. And then Oracle came along with this totally radical new vision. They didn't just want to make things a little easier, they wanted to automate pretty much everything. And they gave it a name that everyone, and I mean everyone, could instantly get: a self-driving database. So let's set the scene. It's Oracle Open World, back in 2017. This is one of the absolute biggest stages in enterprise technology, and it was the perfect place to drop an announcement that was going to echo through the entire industry. And right there on that stage, Oracle's co-founder, Larry Ellison, made the call. He didn't just announce a new product. He basically announced a whole new category of product. This wasn't just some small upgrade. It was pitched as a total shift in how we think about managing our data. They boiled the whole concept down to three incredibly powerful, easy-to-understand pillars. You had self-driving, which handled all the performance tuning, self-securing for automatic patching, and self-repairing for ultimate reliability. Honestly, it was a marketing masterstroke that just perfectly captured what they were selling. Okay, so that's the big promise. It sounds great, but how did they actually plan to pull it off? Let's pop the hood and see what makes this whole thing tick. So the first thing you have to know is this wasn't just built out of thin air. The autonomous database stands on two massive pieces of Oracle tech: their super high-performance Exadata hardware and their Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. This whole foundation was designed from the ground up to give it the raw horsepower and stability needed to make all those autonomous features even possible. And right from the start, Oracle gave you two distinct flavors of this thing. On one side, you've got autonomous transaction processing, or ATP. Think of this as being built for speed, all those high-volume transactions you see in e-commerce or finance. And on the other side, autonomous data warehouse, or ADW, which is optimized for those really complex, heavy-duty analytics queries. So it really breaks down into four main jobs. First, you've got AI-driven tuning that's constantly optimizing your queries. It's like having a master mechanic under the hood 24/7. Second, it applies security patches automatically with zero downtime, which is a massive, massive win for any business. Third, if something goes wrong, it detects it and recovers all by itself. And finally, it scales up or down on demand, so companies only pay for the computer power they're actually using. You know that 2017 announcement? That was just the starting line. The technology has evolved like crazy since then, becoming a deeper and deeper part of Oracle's entire cloud strategy. The timeline here really tells the story. It kicked off in 2017 with the analytics version, ADW. The very next year, the transaction version, ATP, rolled out. Then, from 2019 on, it got woven tightly into the very fabric of OCI. And today, it's the engine under the hood for Oracle's biggest cloud applications, like their huge Fusion ERP suite. And this evolution didn't just change Oracle's product lineup. Oh no, this sent shockwaves across the entire database and cloud industry. It completely changed what people expected. The result was a true paradigm shift. I mean, look at this. Every single key job, tuning, patching, security, scaling, it all went from being this manual, reactive chore to an automated, proactive system. Things that used to require a person's direct intervention and scheduled downtime could now just happen in the background with zero disruption. So why does this matter to a business? Well, the impacts were huge and immediate.
First, automating all that work slashed operational costs. Second, that zero downtime patching meant your security was way, way better. And maybe the biggest thing, it freed up all those brilliant DBAs from doing boring maintenance so they could focus on really valuable stuff like data architecture and actually innovating.
And strategically, you have to understand this was a massive power move for Oracle in that hyper-competitive cloud war. The autonomous database became their killer feature, the thing that set them apart. It positioned them as a leader in autonomous tech and put them right up there as a serious contender with giants like AWS and Azure.
But, this whole shift also kicked off this fascinating debate inside the tech world itself. For the DBAs, the people on the front lines, was this a good thing? Was it liberation, freeing them from all the tedious parts of their job? Or was it actually a threat, a loss of control over the very systems they were paid to protect? It's a question that really gets to the heart of what happens when automation meets highly skilled jobs.
But in the end, Oracle's moonshot really did pay off, because whether every single company jumped on board or not, the autonomous database completely changed the conversation. By just putting that promise of a self-driving future out there, it fundamentally redefined what we all expect a modern data platform should be able to do.